Hi everybody. Everybody always asks me, how can you possibly afford to eat organic or grass-fed meat? And so I thought I'd show you from start to finish how we do that. We usually only have 2 birds. These were smaller. It feeds our family of 10, so keep that in mind. But anyway, this is about $36 worth of chicken, which sounds like a lot. It's $2.85 a poundish, about that. And yes, you can find chicken in the store for 69 cents a pound, but this is grass-fed on organic grass chicken. So what we do is, Luke here is our chicken guy. I don't make Sunday dinner, Luke does. He salt and peppers the inside underneath the skin and just kind of throws them in the cavity there a little bit. And then he puts chicken broth in the base. We used to put vegetables in there to make a good gravy, but we've just simplified it. We put the chicken stock in to kind of mix with the juices from the chicken. We just go ahead and cover that up with foil, and I don't like the idea of using foil, so I just kind of sometimes put a piece of parchment paper over the top of it to keep it from the foil from touching the chicken. So he closes it up tight. Seals it in good, and I think we kind of roasted around 375, and it depends on how big the birds are, how frozen they were when we started, but usually 2 to 3 hours at the most. And so then I'll be back to show you what happens when we take it out of the oven. Okay, we're back here after our chicken is done. Usually it's a little more brown on top. We take the foil off the last half hour or so to brown it up, but it's fall off the bone tender. And Brian here carves it, and Victoria and Luke are usually pulling the meat off the bones here for dinner because it's easier than handing the children a big old piece like this. Before now, we poured off the juice into a pot. And Joshua, our cameraman, is the one who makes our gravy. And we'll be back after we get it all cut up, and you can see what's on our plates and how much everybody gets. And we'll go from there. Okay, here we are, and I just wanted to give you an idea of about how much chicken everybody has on their plate. Little kids usually get somewhere between 2 and 3 ounces-ish. Bigger people get more, and loads of mashed potatoes and gravy, as you can see. So we'll be back after we pick our chicken. Bye. Okay, we're back after dinner. And I wanted to point out that I told you how much the kids have. They'd eat more, but they don't need to. They get protein with pretty much every meal, so I limit them to 2, 3, 4 ounces depending on the age of the kid. So I've already picked most of it. I just put on some gloves and go in there and just start ripping meat off, ripping the bones apart if I need to. I'm not super fussy with this because I'm going to pick it again after I have made stock. Like our chickens have necks on them, and there's lots of tasty meat in there that I use for like a stir-fry dish, little bits of chicken to put in there. So, you know, just get what you can off of it. You'll find chicken in places you didn't know there was chicken meat. And the wings and such, I just go in there and get what I can off, and like I said, I leave the rest for when I make stock because it just all falls off the bone then. So that's what I got from there. So this is what we have left. This, because I said this was 3 birds instead of 2, which we normally have 2, so I spent $36 on the birds. This will be our meal for Tuesday night. I usually have a leftover chicken meal, and that's going to be white chicken chili this week, and that is plenty, and that'll probably be enough to make dinner and a lunch, at least for a couple of people. And if you use chicken stock in anything, that increases the protein content, so you don't have to have a ton of chicken. Also, it'll have quinoa in it, which is a very high protein grain. I have 2 hunks here of the breast meat that Brian and or I will use for our lunch protein this week. This right here, all of this actually, that's going to go into leek soup tomorrow that I'll make a big, huge pot of it for lunch, and it'll be enough for 2 lunches for sure, and possibly even a 3rd lunch or partial third lunch. So 2 lunches for Brian and I, Tuesday dinner, say Monday, Wednesday lunch, and our Sunday dinner that we got out of that $36. And we're not done yet. So what I do is I put all of the chicken bones and the skin and the fat and any leftover gravy that might be. Why don't you go ahead and bring that over here, Isaiah? Anything whatsoever I can get juice. I just kind of scoop it all in there. Go ahead and dump any extra gravy. Okay. And then what we do is I put a splash of vinegar, probably a quarter to a half a cup, right in the pot because the vinegar helps draw the minerals out of the bones. And what we're making here is not just the chicken broth. We're making a bone broth, a rich chicken stock that will be full of minerals from all the bones in the chicken. And so you put a splash of vinegar in, and then you cover it with water, and you really only have to let that sit for an hour, but we don't make it until Monday morning, and so I just put it in the fridge like this, covered in water overnight, and then tomorrow morning we'll put it on the burner, and we'll cook it all day. I'll put the vegetables in tomorrow, and we'll show you from there.